walking till the end. Let's go for I pretend. We drive and never reach the end. Stylized highway spin. I drive until the colors blend. It's faster than it's slower. The place I'm going feels closer. Easy and dreamy, needy and greedy. Will you meet me there? I've got to stare at you. At you. Will you please me?
All right. How's everybody doing? What a shitty return. Kind of messed all that stuff up. Try to get it as smooth as I can. Fumbling with the controls. It's been a minute. It's been over a month since we've been here, so. All right. I'm glad to be back in the studio. Went away for a month. Had a great trip to an amazing place, Calgary, Canada. It was a healing time for me. That's the reason why I went up there. So I did get to kind of go around Calgary, amazing city. Got to go do some amazing biking, meet some cool people in the community. Got to work with my buddy John. Big shout out to John. I'm going to talk a little bit about that during the course of this What's Your Question number 122. 1 month in Calgary. I went to go see a mechanic. The best way I can describe what I did was I went to go see a mechanic for the body. Not to do a tune-up, to do an overhaul. That's what John does. He's a muscle activation specialist. And I'm super grateful that I was able to go partake in that. I can tell you all this. Every single person in this world needs to do muscle activation. Every single one of you. If you have injuries, if you're walking around with limps, if you got a bad back, it's absolutely been a game changer for me. Has it fixed me completely? No, but we're talking chronic and years of abuse. But the amount of miracles that happened while I was up there is, there was several things that happened that were amazing. I got to experience the bipolar weather of Calgary, Canada. It freaking hailed like crazy on June 30th. Oh man, crazy bipolar weather up there. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, wanted to change up the studio a little bit. Got the Panther back with me here. Got some trees in the background. Got the hat on. I'm growing my hair out, so it's kind of wild. So I'm wearing a hat for a while. You know how that's, if you're a guy and you've ever grown your hair out, that stage of where it doesn't do anything, that's where I'm at. So we're gonna wear a hat for a while. So, all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have the biggest reveal that I'm going to show you a sneak peek of that I've ever found. I got a sneak peek for you. So stick around for that. When I was up in Calgary, I had downloads after downloads. I wanted to take a break. Now the code says, no, you ain't taking no break. So I would get worked on every day. I was working with John. Every single day I was on the table working, man. It was grueling. It was aggressive, but it was amazing. And I want to talk a little bit about him because I got to decode him and some other people, but the amount of in-your-face code for this guy who's a miracle man, he's a mechanic for the body. It's the best way I can describe it for you. I'm going to show like his birth card, and I got to study his whole chart, and it's like scripted. It was absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. But while I was there in Calgary, Calgary sits at 51 degrees north latitude. So did I choose to go there? Well, when I looked at my charts, when I looked at Solar Spread 51 there, see what's sitting in my space, where my finger is, this card, this is where my card normally sits. If you know the cards, guess what card number that is? 51. Calgary sits at 51 degrees north latitude. So this is my proof that I'm not in control of this reality, my experiences. Once you start to partake in that, you can just kind of let go. It becomes much easier. Life does. Knowing you're not in control. So it's a lot easier. So I had some revelations after revelations. I didn't plan on going up there, and I wanted to take a break. But no, after I was done working with John, working on the table, besides, taking walks and doing some outside stuff when the weather was nice, which it really wasn't, I was in front of the computer decoding. And I found something that I'm going to share with you, a sneak peek of it. I'm going to do a full breakdown soon enough, but it is, I guarantee, I know for a fact that the world's never, ever, ever seen this. Ever. You guys are going to be the first people to see it for the first time. Ever. That's a promise. It's an absolute guarantee, and it's big. It's not just small, it's absolutely massive. When I say massive, I'm kind of not even giving it credit. At least I think so. And it has everything to do with us living in a simulation. Living inside this machine. Pink Floyd, Welcome to the Machine. Is there truth to that? Well, I'm going to show you this sneak peek, and I'll let you be the judge of that. But it is, you're going to start to see people throw it out there. It's going to be a big share in this community because it's a revelation. I'm excited to share it with all of you. So I got over 100 slides for this presentation, and they won't stop. They won't stop coming. They just keep coming, this information. So I'm excited to share that with all of you. That I know some of you have asked, what was the intro song? Whoops. It's one of my bands. It's called Neon Soap Opera. It's called Fantasy. Starting to build up these tracks. It's my AI band. I got 2 of them. So if you're interested, you can go check it out. It's this one right here. Because I know some of you have asked. So that's kind of the news I have so far. But I've been so busy on Patreon. I've been putting out content like gangbusters. So, and you don't even have to be a donating member. You can be a free member over there. Tons of content I've been putting out. Tons. If you do become a donating member, they'll be over we got almost 200 hours of videos. And I want to let you know, the Spotlight course, in case you didn't know, is completely donation free based. Anybody can do it. So if you've been waiting to do it, you can jump in. All you got to do is dedicate your time to it. That's it. So a lot of the forensics that we do, the decoding, they're embedded into Spotlight. So if you want to learn how to decode, if you have that itch, if you go study Spotlight, and the best way to learn how to decode is to decode yourself first, then you can start to break down the code around you. If you want to do that. If you want to get advanced, besides just connecting words to numbers, that's what a lot of these decoders, that's what they do. It's just, it's this cipher and that cipher, and that's about as far as they go. People are starting to catch on. They're starting to use tests, start to see tarot involved, cards, chemistry. So it's awesome. It's rubbing off. And I want to put a disclaimer out there. It ain't me doing this, right? I take zero credit for any of this. Nothing. It's just all channeling through me onto the world stage, like it always has been. And my final answer is that's what we do. We channel. You channel, I channel. When you talk and you start to give insight to people, you're channeling wherever that's coming from. All right. So let's get into some of these comments. This is What's Your Question? And let's get into all this stuff. Let's start off with let's jump into this one here. Here you go. Start with this one. Is Logan your real name? No. Are you saying, is it my birth certificate name? No. My birth certificate name is Jason Arthur Payette. That's my birth certificate name. I've been going by Logan since I went in the military. I was in Desert Storm in 92, 93. Please don't say thank you for your service either. Okay? Not into that stuff. It was a cool experience, but so I go by Logan. I've been going by Logan for the longest time. What's up, Bobby? Bobby says, do you have anything in Dhanishta, the nakshatra? Well, Saturn, Kronos, rules the bones and teeth. Now, Dhanishta would be kind of an extension upon that, but Kronos rules the bones and teeth, as well as the muscle tissue. All the connecting tissues and the bones and teeth, the skeletal structure, Kronos. I have Kronos in my 7th house, in the 2nd constellation of Taurus. You can ask him right here, my friend. That's where you can ask the questions. Somebody, let's see if I can get this question here. Mr. Man's asking, why does your thumbnail look like a this one right here? That one? Why does your thumbnail look like a paradise beach when 122 is satanic in Gematria? Oh no. Satanic. There's a lot of words that equal 122, my friend. Tons. So every word is satanic. Every letter is satanic. You and I are satanic. Because we become adversaries. That's what Satan is. It's an adversary. And Satan works through people. The idea of it. Didn't you know, and if you study the Bible, so if you want to get into the whole satanic stuff, let's get into that. In the Bible, Satan comes on the scene in the Old Testament, in the book of Job, the 18th book of the Bible. The word Adam equals 18 in Hebrew numerology. And the only way Satan has any power is when the Yod gives it to him. Which he does. He grants him permission to go wipe out Job's family. Can you imagine that? Why would God allow something to go wipe out someone's family? For what reason? Well, these are allegorical. But of course, Satan goes into the Chaldeans, enters into the Chaldeans, the Sabians, people, becomes a fire from the sky, nature, wipes out all of his livestock. So I'm very leery on moving into this whole satanic thing. Because anything can be satanic. You're Satan. When you get angry, when you curse, the reason why the number of the beast is 666 is because it's carbon. You and I are carbon-based life forms. Carbon has 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. And what's interesting about that element, carbon, is that it's tied to, and I'm going to show you this because this is one of the big reveals I'm going to show you tonight that the world's never seen. I promise you. And you're going to want to see it. You're going to want to see this. But the 6 is tied to the 6 of hearts, which is tied to this card. That's Satan right there. In case you didn't know. This is satanic. People. Carbon. This is card 42. Which paves the way for the 6 of hearts, which is the 6th card, which is carbon. So I don't follow this. 122 is satanic and Gematria and all. There's a million ciphers and they all will link to it. So I would just encourage you to expand your horizons. If you want to go to the origination of Satan, it's in Hebrew, and it has a value of 44. A lot of words equal 44. So that's why studying just numerology is very watered down. Very, very watered down. Especially if you're going to use the base cipher and the reverse, this reverse stuff. And it's like, just use one. And then branch off in there and find your vocabulary, find your foundations. This is what we did with Chaldean for so long. I've been really into the English lately because we found another tool to use with it. What planet and house in your astrological chart gives you money and success? Every single one of them. Now, if you narrow it down, like typically where's your money? Second house. Ruled by Taurus. And the Lord or the Lordess is Venus. But if you have Taurus in the 12th house, that means your money's in the 12th house. If you get Taurus in the 8th house, that means your money's in the 8th house. It's going to be connected to your second house, though, as the foundation, as the pivot. Then you got to look to where your Venus is at. So money and success in astrology is every single sign. All 12 houses and all 13 constellations. Yeah, thanks, Flip. You've been here for a minute. I mean, you've been here for a long time, so I appreciate your participation. So let me go through these comments, these questions. Yeah, Canada is amazing. I mean, the weather wasn't the greatest. I was cold. I mean, when you're used to 85-degree weather and you go to 50 degrees, it's cold. Let's just say I was wearing long pants every day. But it is definitely amazing, amazing place. Summertime it is. I wouldn't want to be there during the wintertime. I lived in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho for 1 year. And I remember the winter was 7 months long. I got the hell out of there. Great in the summer, but no. So Jay's asking, what's muscle activation? Well, let me give you kind of an idea of what it is. And everyone should really pay attention to this, honestly. I'm being honest with you. I'm not trying to sell you on anything. But I'm telling you, there were miracles that happened for me. Okay, several different. I'm not 100%, but you're talking about a chronic body out of whack. Okay, muscle activation is where, especially I'll give you an example. If you have any injury in your body, what the body does to protect itself, it kind of hinges on that injury you have. Like if you sprain your ankle, you start limping, and you start favoring a certain leg, and then the muscles start to activate in that area, or they can, and then even when you heal up, you still are hinged on that injury. So the muscles in that area can turn off. It's the best way I can explain it. I'm not trying to get too crazy with it. The simplest way I can explain it is when you have muscles that are turned off, maybe you don't work out, and you're soft in certain areas, that could be called muscle atrophy. That's why strength training is extremely important. Not bodybuilding, just calisthenics, strength training. I think everybody should do it if you can do it. But when you have a muscle that's turned off, your body has to compensate. And then it becomes out of alignment. And another example is kind of like if you go out into your car and you pull a spark plug wire out. If you're to do that, will the car still run? Yes. It will sputter. It will spit fire. The engine won't be balanced. And that's how the body is. When you have an injury or you have a muscle that shuts off, your body has to compensate. And now it's not in equilibrium. And then you can get used to that. And then all of a sudden now you're strong in one point, but you're weak overall. So I can let all of you know, I'm working on getting rid of right posture dominance. So my pelvic area, where your groin is, it's shifting, it's pulling to the right. And the reason why, one of the reasons why is because of all the years of sitting in front of the computer, leaning into my mouse, and I'm right-handed, leaning into it like this. I'm right-handed, right posture dominance. And then what does the left do? The left starts to pull to compensate for that. And when you have the left pulling from the right, it strains the entire body. So what ended up happening is my right shoulder, when I would stand in the mirror and I face you, you could see a slope on my shoulder. My left shoulder was way higher than my right. Way noticeable. It would slope down. And it causes a whole host of problems. So John was able to correct that, which I'm super grateful for. I've had issues with my neck from leaning over. A lot of people are, I know this because I've been to people that are therapists. And because of this thing right here and leaning into it and looking into it like this thing weighs about 20 pounds. So your neck has to support all that. And people are having issues with the back of their neck. And it's just going to be becoming a bigger problem as people continue to use these things and the computer and laptops. Like the best way to watch and listen to your computer is when like this. But who does this? Who here looks at their phone like this? I know some of you do, but how long are you going to keep it like that? See, so I've made sure my computer is upright. I face the computer like this. I try not to have a laptop on my desk and looking down. That's what most people do. And the neck suffers for that. And now all of a sudden the muscles shut off and you could be a mess. So for me, the muscle activation was everybody should be able to do it. So it's amazing. It's like the foundation of fixing the body. First, to make sure the body's in equilibrium and it's balanced and it's a well-oiled machine, then you go and move on to the other things. Like if you're doing chiropractic, MAT, it's called MAT, is an absolute must before you start messing around with that. Because if you have muscles shut off and you adjust, it's just going to go right back out again, more than likely. So that's what it is. Okay. I don't know who this person is, no. If you have something specific, you can send me an email. Just don't send me a long email. Maybe just send me, here's Nick Land's video or whatever. If you have something, you can send it to me, decodeyourreality@gmail.com. Someone's asking, do I believe in karma? Mr. Man again, good question. Do I believe in karma? No. Not in the traditional sense. But karma is cause and effect. Do I believe in cause and effect? Yes, but I believe in a scripted reality. I'm a determinist. Fate and destiny rules this world. So karma is just cause and effect. So am I like, oh, if you do this to a person, you're going to get it back? Not necessarily. No, that's not how it works. That's not what I've seen. So in the traditional sense, no, but in the cause and effect way, yes. But it's all scripted. Knowledge is Lord. Interesting name. Do you believe in the Chosen One prophecy? We actually decoded the Chosen One. It's on the Patreon. Or it was the One or the Chosen One? Well, I'll give you my take on it. You're the Chosen One. You are. You as the listener. I am. You are. Why I say that is because everybody is experiencing this reality through their set of senses. You create me. I create you. And out of all the 8 billion people in this world today, as I've said so many times, you are the most important person. I know a lot of you can't handle that. You won't accept it. You won't tolerate it. Because what you'll do is you compare. You'll compare yourself to the outside world. And you say, well, I don't have that. They got that and I don't have that, so they must be better than me. Or I want to strive to get that. No, you're the most important person living today. That is my final answer. So you become the chosen one. What does it mean to have Kronos in the second house? Well, your money, Kronos is the timekeeper, right? Kronos, normally when it shows up in a sign, and this can be offset by many factors. So I'm going on generalization. But Kronos slows things down. So it can mean that it may take you quite a bit of time to get things going with your finances. Now, I don't know if you have anything else there, but Kronos in the second house, and you got to work. See, Saturn is like, prove it to me. You can't be a lazy kind of person. I'm not saying you are. You can't be anything lazy with Kronos in the second house. I wouldn't play it that way. I wouldn't imagine you are. You're probably a go-getter. But Kronos slows things down, the timekeeper. He's like, I got all the time in the world. How about you? So you get your 29-year return, then your 59-year return of Kronos. Those are things in astrology. But I would definitely revert you to Spotlight. Any of you that have a question on anything, astrology, numerology, anything about yourself, go take the course. It's free. The only thing this is going to cost you is time. That's it. So we teach you the two systems in astrology. Tropical is on the inside. Tropical are the houses. But on the outside is the true sky, the true sidereal, the 13 constellations. Don't let anybody try to convince you otherwise. See, the ancients never had the division of the sky back in the day. If you look up in the sky, you're not going to see 12 houses, by the way. You know what you will see? The constellations. They were using these. These came first. Tropical is a New Age astrology system. If you're going to compare New Age to Old School. Old School is true sidereal. And we use masteringthezodiac.com along with the Stellarium, this website. This is my foundation, actually. I use this before anything else. because this I can verify with my eyes and a binoculars and a camera and a telescope. And right now, these are the current placements for July 12, 2026. This is where everything's at. So many people you'll see online, oh, Jupiter's in Leo. No, it is not. It's in Cancer. You can verify this by the way, go outside when it's clear out, the next clear night, and locate. You can easily find the constellation Leo, and you'll find Jupiter because it's a very bright star, and you'll see it ain't in Leo. So these people that are spewing this stuff, they're lying to you. They're lying to themselves. I used to be one of them. Because Jupiter is in Cancer right now, not Leo. This you'll learn on the Spotlight course. I take you on the entire journey, folks. All of these, tarot, astrology, numerology, your cosmic codes, if you're a fan of human design, totem pole, which is something that we only carry here on this course, okay? The cosmic playing cards. All of these are embedded in your astrological chart. All 14 of your cards teach you how to read from every single one of them. All you got to do is invest your time. That's it. So more than what I'm telling you here with Kronos in your second house, for me, it slows things down. It makes you work for it. You got to prove yourself. So in the second house, yeah, I would say, and this is just average, I would say you're probably going to have the second half of your life will probably be better than your first half when it comes to money. Now that may get you excited about stuff. It sure would me. I have no idea what's going on with CERN. I honestly haven't been paying attention to the mainstream all that much. Rainbow Warriors, I did get your message. I haven't replied yet. You did ask me to. You're not the first person that's asked me. I looked into Mr. Beast. If you don't know who that guy is, he is the guy who has the most YouTube subscribers. I think he's only 32. I do know that he's a Queen of Diamonds. I do know that. Or his channel was started on a Queen of Diamonds day. I haven't decoded him, I haven't felt compelled to do it. Not really, But obviously, Beast. The simplicity of that. The number of the beast. It's the number of a man. Mr. Beast. Well, we did Beast Decoded on the Patreon. We did a full breakdown on what it means. In theology, I'll give you a hint on what it is. The moon. Revelation 13 verses 1. And I saw a beast rise out of the sea. You ever see the moon come up over the ocean or a lake? That's what the ancients were looking at. A beast rising out of the sea. Beast in numerology, I'll just give you this. If we go to numerology, we type in beast, you're going to get 47 here. And we go to the periodic table. What's the 47th element on the periodic table? Silver. Well, this is the element for the moon. Silver. It's not the only one. It's also selenium right here. And it's also platinum, little silver, right next to gold. But it's silver, the beast. If you type in Mr. Beast, well, you get 78. It's 78. It's tied to platinum, which is called little silver. See? Now, I'm not saying that Mr. Beast is the beast, but I'm saying every person is the beast. You and I are the beast. It's the number of a man. Should have said it's a number of a woman. Both. Because carbon has 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons. Carbon. 6, which is tied to Satan. You are the devil. Not you. I know, not you, because I know a lot of you. No, it's not me. Okay, not you. Everybody else just except not you. No, you're the devil, folks. Everybody is. You're carbon, are you not? You're a carbon-based life form. Carbon is Satan. Satan is 44. Listen, I got some stuff coming out on the Torah. I'm not going to show it to you tonight. If you haven't seen my Watchtower Decoded or the Torah Code Decoded, I broke all down. There's hidden code in the Torah. All of it is in there. And I'll give you a hint. Some of you that want to break this down. Actually, I'm going to do it on the fly. I'll do it right on the fly so you can see what I'm talking about. Let's do it on the fly together. Okay? First, this is how you decode, right? First, you get Satan. Here it is right here. Satan. Then you pump it into the calculator. Got to go to Hebrew. There it is, 44. Right? A lot of words equal 44. Right? It's Shin. Nun. I can't remember what the number 9 is. Nun means serpent. Comes from serpent. And Shin is tied to the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Because it's a dualistic, and it's tied to the world card. So you get this 44. Then you go into Hebrew. As you can see, I've already been doing it. And what you start doing is you find the 44th letter. Right? That's how you start at Genesis 1 verses 1. Go into Hebrew. How many letters we got in Genesis 1 verses 1? 28. So we got to go into Genesis chapter 1 verses 2. So we're going to go there. And we're just, for the sake of ease, we're just going to copy all of this. We're going to paste it in here. And now you get 80 letters. It's too many. So I got to subtract till I get to 44. So that's what I'm going to do. And what do you think the 44th letter is? Well, it's the 6th letter. Right there. It's this one. This is the letter of Satan right there. 6, which is what on the periodic table? Carbon. We're carbon-based life forms. See, that's why when you go to the book of Job and you start to research this, it's where Satan comes on the scene. Yahweh says to Satan, hey, where'd you come from, dude? Because the sons of God and the Yod were meeting, and there was a day when the sons of God presented themselves before Yahweh. But Satan came. So the Yod says, hey, where'd you come from? Where'd you come from? Satan says, oh, I was roaming on the earth. I was on the earth walking back and forth. So what does the Yod say to Satan? Hey, have you set your heart upon my servant? Like tempting the devil. Have you considered my servant Job? There's no one like him on earth. He's blameless and upright. He fears God. He turns from evil. Well, then you keep going. And Satan goes on to say, hey, yeah, he fears you because you give him stuff. So what does the Yod do? The Yod gives him permission. Behold, all that is unto him is in your hands now, only unto you. You can't touch him, but you can do whatever you want. So why is the devil getting the bad rap here? The Yod gives him permission. Well, then it goes on to say, right, the Chaldeans right here. Satan enters into the Sabians. These are people. The Sabians strike out with the sword. They kill people. Satan goes into the Sabians. Satan goes into the Chaldeans. Where is it? I think it's verse 15. There's the Sabians. So Satan enters into the Sabians. And then the fire of God comes down from heaven to kill all the animals. Then here's the Chaldeans. Satan enters into the Chaldeans. How does Satan enter into people? Because he's carbon. We're carbon-based life forms. That's why. So in that, is it true Did it really happen? I don't know. But the real aspect of Satan, the character, is he's an agent that works for God. And you and I are agents. And we are slaves to this code, to this matrix. And you have a fate and destiny, and you can't move it or change it. Okay? I see no evidence of that. Now, unless somebody comes forth and shows me evidence that they're in control of their reality, I'd love to see it. I have yet to see it. No evidence of that. So that's the whole story of where Satan comes on the scene. In the 18th book, the word Adam in Hebrew numerology is 18. And the 18th card in the tarot, the moon. The moon is the sun at night. It doesn't give off any of its own light. It takes from the sun. The sun gives the light to the moon. The moon is the left-hand path. The sun is the right-hand path. That's why the sun rises in the east. That's why Jesus said, cast your nets to the right side of the boat. Because he wants to catch people that are emotional. Because the right side of the brain is where your emotions, where you get lovey-dovey. The left side, logic, discernment, order, no emotions. So, Satan's tied to the moon? Yes. Absolutely, but it's also tied to the sun because the sun gives to the moon. And when you go study the beast, since we're talking about Mr. Beast, and I'll show you that right now, so we can take a look. You got to go to Revelation 12 verses 3. A great red dragon. Well, guess what's red? A great red dragon. Could that be a great red dragon? Rising out of the sea? Why is it so far-fetched? And then you have Revelation 13 verses 1, which is the moon right here. I stand upon the seas of the sand of the sea and saw a beast ride out of the sea. The moon rising out of the sea. The lunatics. What is this thing? No idea. Nobody has a clue what it is. This is the sun at night. The adversary of light, right? Because it does not give off any of its own light. So it takes from the sun. And the sun is the light of the world, folks. That's why Christ means the Son of God. I am the way, the truth, and the life. Yeah. What gives you life? Man, when I was up in Calgary and it was freezing cold, when that sun came through the clouds, man, I was sitting in the kitchen, in John's kitchen, doing my thing, and the sun was coming through the window, and I'm trying to put my leg on the sun because it's like 15 degrees warmer. That's the Christos. That's the light of the world. The one that's going to save you every day. Light beats out darkness, does it not? Darkness is the evil, the void. Earth is tied to the void. Earth does not give off any of its own light. You could say Earth is the black sun. You could also say the moon is as well. But the sun is what creates the hand of winning. Because every time the sun comes up, there's photosynthesis going on. There's vitamin D that you can get. Most important vitamin, in my opinion, makes things grow. Darkness doesn't do that. Darkness takes away. So that's all it is, folks. So it's that simple. And we are in a yin-yang dualistic reality. It's called the Matrix. We're in it. You're in it. And it's a machine. It's a simulation. This is not a real reality. We're in a movie. So I can tell you that there is a code in the Torah, and I got some videos coming out on it, and it's mind-blowing. It's strictly coded a certain way, as is the Greeks, scripture. It's easier with the Hebrew and the Torah because there's only one way to read it. The Greek, there's so many different translations. In English, there's so many translations, so it can be challenging. But even in Hebrew, you have the Aramaic as well. You can decode from that. But it's much easier. Yeah, it can be that. But the planet that has the devil horns is Mercury. Mercury sits in the left-hand path in the Kabbalah tree. It's Mercury, Mars, and maybe Saturn, excuse me, Kronos. That's the traditional way to operate through the Kabbalah tree. Mercury, Mars, Kronos, left-hand path. Right-hand path, Uranus, maybe. Zeus, Venus. Who sits at the top of the tree? A lot of people say Neptune does, Poseidon. A lot of truth to that. Could be Pluto. The Golden Dawn, the Order of the Golden Dawn, they have Poseidon at the top of the Kabbalah tree, the tree of life, which I can tell you right now, it's the tree of death. Why that is factual is, are you going to live forever? Do you think one day you're going to die? Of course. Tree of death. That's what I'm going to show you. So I know that some of you are antsy, you've been waiting around. So let me show you something you're never going to forget. I promise you, this is going to blow your mind. I guarantee it when I show it to you. You guys ready? Let's jump into it. This is just a sneak peek now. This is the presentation I have coming out. Fruit of death. I finally figured out what fruit Adam and Eve ate from in the garden. And this is my final answer. And I am not the one to come up with this. It's the fig tree. That's why they got figs right here. I'm gonna support that with numbers. See, because interpretations are many numbers. When you connect them and you connect them to something else, that's when they start to speak the truth. So all of this information on this graphic is going to be part of the presentation. I have over 100 slides, folks. So obviously we have people in their prime and people as they're ready to die, moving to death. You're going to reach this stage of your life. Unavoidable. You want to stay here, but we reach this, and we end up having a lot of this. There's a reason why this Three of Swords is here, because it is tied to the tree of knowledge. But the tree of life and the tree of knowledge, they're the same. Because all it really is light and dark. That's it. That's all it is. Some people say sex and it was a sexual encounter and all that kind of stuff. But there's a lot of truth that talks about light and dark. Because remember, God is light. There's no darkness in him at all. 1 John 1 verses 5. God is the sun. So this is the best representation of the asset aspect of God. This is the liability, the duality. This is Isaiah 45 verses 7. I make peace and create evil. This is peace. This is evil. Calamity. Right in the book that people... Anyway. So let me show you this. This is where it started for me. This is the very first time Eve is talked about seeing the tree that was good for food. This is what it says. When the woman saw that the tree was good for food and that it was pleasant to the eyes and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit and did eat and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. Now, why I know it's a fig tree? Because right after this, it goes on to Genesis 3 verses 7. Right? We're going to get into that. But here's where I know we're in the matrix. When you do the numerology of Genesis from the original now, right? I'm not using English. This is from Hebrew. Genesis 3 verses 6. It's exactly a match to matrix. Now, I know I'm using English and I'm connecting it to Hebrew, and I know a lot of people could say, because I would say it too, well, a lot of words can equal that. So I need to go deeper to get more support to say this is legit. Okay, if you didn't know, go study figs. They've been around over 12,000 years. Before oats and barley and all that stuff, that's what the science says. Figs is the oldest fruit. Go study it. I never did. So when she eats the fruit and gives it to Adam, right? It doesn't say anything of a fig tree here. I'm going to show you where that is. But as you can see, we go to the devil here. And in the tarot, the devil card is card 15. And this is how they spell it. Now, you know what a lot of people are going to do? Yeah, I know, but this is not God's kingdom. How are you to prove that? Well, who does the good stuff? Well, God does the good stuff. Oh, so only the devil does the bad stuff? No. No. Nope. This is a dualistic reality that we live in. And we live in a matrix. We live in a world that's not real. It's an illusion. It's called Maya. Okay? And there it is right there. When she ate from the fruit, its value is 85. Immediately, their eyes were opened. Right? This is Genesis, right after Genesis 3 verses 6 is 3 verses 7. The very next scripture, now it mentions the fig. Right here. It says, then the eyes of both of them were opened, and they knew they were naked, and they sewed together fig leaves and made for themselves coverings. It's the fig. Okay? It's the fig. It's this. And this was the massive truth bomb, in your face, undeniable. This is a real fig. This is not an AI generated fig. What do you see there in that fig? Do you see the tree? Of course you do. You can't miss it. That is a real fig sliced open, and that, my friends, is a tree. Now, you could argue that it's the tree of life because figs are very healthy. Well, that's because the tree of life and tree of knowledge of good and evil are the same. They're different perspectives. That's all it is. So this was the big reveal that I found, and I was like, holy shit. This is crazy that the very first scripture that talks about the fruit being pleasing to the eyes is followed by them dressing themselves up with fig leaves, and the fig actually has a tree inside of it, right there, you can't miss it. But that wasn't the big reveal, folks. So make sure you're all with me here. That wasn't the big reveal. You guys ready? Take a good look at this fig. Study it. All the seeds. Looks like a tree. But it was this right here. That was, I got goosebumps. It was a jaw on the floor moment for me when I discovered this in Calgary, Canada. That image to the right is a digital computer board. And there's a slew of them. If you go look at a motherboard, it's going to look a lot like that. And ladies and gentlemen, this is eerie. This is, to me, the tree of knowledge represents what? Computers, right? In our day and age, if you were to say, how do you get your knowledge? AI. I get my knowledge from computers or my cell phone. Well, is it a coincidence that that fig cut open? Not only does it look like a tree, but it looks like a damn grid on a digital computer motherboard? Absolutely, folks. This slide I'm showing, I've only sent it to a few people. You're the very first people to ever see this. I already know that no one's ever made this. At least I've never found anybody to make this connection. And again, I want to let you know, I am only channeling this information. I didn't find this. It found me. I was supposed to find this. This supports that we live in a simulation and a what? A matrix. Because the devil's tied to the tree of knowledge. And knowledge is found through computers and digitization. So we further went into this to confirm. And lo and behold, wouldn't you know it that the word knowledge in Hebrew matches the word fig, tree? And it's not just any number, it's freaking 42. Life, the universe, everything. 42. Well, we just connect. You know how I roll. This is the methodology. What can I connect in chemistry? Molybdenum. It means lead. Lead's tied to Chronos. Chronos is tied to time. We're stuck in time. When you add up molybdenum 42 and 98, this is the neutrons, protons, and electrons. Bam. Right there. 140. So I don't just get it here. This is Da'at, by the way, on the Kabbalah Tree of Life. This is Sephiroth number 11. I don't just get it with the numerology here. I get it with the chemistry, and I get it with the addition of the neutrons, protons, and electrons, and then I get it from the Hebrew numerology of the Tree of Knowledge of Good and Evil. And it just doesn't stop there. We go to the Six of Cups. I had the little kids drawn up because the modern version of this is what it is, folks. It's falling in love. This, I'm telling you, the Tree of Knowledge is tied to falling in love and procreation. Six of Cups. This is the card of carbon. It's card 42 in the tarot. But if I go to I don't have my cards open here, but if I go to the playing cards, it's the Six of Hearts. In that French Gregorian system, it's card number 6. 6 is tied to carbon. So could we have been spiritual beings before all of this stuff happened? Maybe. Folks, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 layers, and now the biggest one of them all, this one. This was one of the greatest things I've ever been shown if you're a fan of theology. This is. So there you go, folks. We live in a computer. We live inside of a computer, man. And I don't know anything beyond that. But that's what I wanted to show you. So that was the very first time I've shown the general public that reveal. And I know you're going to see a lot more of it because there's going to be a lot of people in this chat that are going to run off and you're going to share. And that's all good. You should share. Oh, on top of that, show you this. I just want to see this because I don't. Let's just see. Yeah, what does this look like to you? The fig leaf. What does that look like to you? What card suit is it? It's a club. What does that look like? A club. That's why I've said so many times that in the tarot, the wands come first. They do, in the order of the tarot. Wands come first. Clubs. And all we have to do is get Eve in Hebrew. We'll do that now on the fly. We'll get the word Eve in Hebrew. There it is right there. We'll do the numerology of it. What is Eve in Hebrew? 19. What's the 19th card in the French Gregorian system? 6 of clubs. It's a club. 6. Okay? 6 of clubs. Wands are fire. The fig leaf. 6 of Wands is the card of Stairway to Heaven. And if you look and you start to, it sits in the Mars Chronos line. 6 of Clubs does. What does Mars and Chronos have to do with each other? What is Chronos? Time. What is Mars? Sex drive. Desire. So the tree of knowledge is going into the darkness, the void. Earth. Earth doesn't give off any of its own light. They were already on Earth. They were Eden. Eden was said to be in the east. That's where the sun rises. They were cast out to the west. That's where the sun sets. Darkness. It's pretty amazing, folks, when you start to see this stuff, and that was the biggest reveal for me. And so now you know. We live in a simulation. And you and I are living through a love story. I'll show you now what I'm talking about. Let me just go again. We're going to go to numerology, and we're going to type in simulation, which gives us 133. I think this is, no, it's not that one. Forgot what is 133. Gosh darn it. What's the 133? course, there's not any. I can't remember. So I'm kind of at a loss. I forgot what that 133 is. But the King of Cups connects to the 133. I just don't remember where it is. So my brain is just all over the place. But it is tied to the love story. You and I are in a love story. And we all got here by way of procreation. Yep. Thanks for bringing this up. Lux says when Jesus so in the book of Mark, can't remember, but Jesus cursed the fig tree. So does it have anything to do with the lack of knowledge? Absolutely. But the tree of knowledge, now you know that fig and knowledge are both 42 in numerology. Now you know that these are both 42. Okay? The numbers don't lie. Well, we already showed you the Six of Cups. Procreation's tied to the tree of knowledge. But then when you go to the 42nd card and you convert it into the tarot through the French Gregorian system, Three of Spades is the Three of Swords. So the tree of knowledge becomes this. And that's why it says in the Torah, when you eat from the tree, you will positively die. Because this converts into the Six of Spades. I mean, the Three of Spades, which is card 42. It's 42 here, but it becomes 53 here, if you know the cards. Death. You will positively die. You and I will positively die. Unavoidable. Someone's asking about CERN again. I don't really have any information on, and thank you, by the way, for the support and the kind words. I greatly appreciate that. I don't really know what CERN is up to. I mean, I think there's a lot of things that we are not told. I decoded CERN a little bit in other decodes. I just don't remember where. But the way I described it was, the Large Hadron Collider is like having sex with the galaxy. That's what it is. I think Large Hadron Collider, I'm almost certain it is in Cal. Let me just double check. I think, let's go to Chaldean. I think, yeah. Large Hadron Collider is 66, just like that. Sexual intercourse is the Large Hadron Collider. That to me was a big reveal. It's literally penetrating the galaxy. And 66 is one digit short of 666. It's in between 6 and 666. 6 is a very special number because it's the golden ratio, spiral. 6 is. That's why there are 6 days of creation in Judaism. Golden. The capstone of creation is 6. Carbon-based life forms we are. So I don't really know what's going on over there. People saying, oh, they turned it off, and okay. But I can tell you this right now, they're not in control of anything. We live inside of a simulation. We're living in a movie. It's not real. It's real, but it's not real. And mankind is not in control of this reality. I don't care how high up the totem pole you think you are not in control. That's my final answer. That's why I stopped blaming organizations. It's very freeing to stop pointing fingers at people. So when they turn it on, they're supposed to turn it on. When they turn it off, they're supposed to turn it off. They're not in control. And what they're doing, they're supposed to be doing. CJ says knowledge is slavery. I think it can be. But would you rather be naive and dumb? Or would you rather have knowledge? See, because being naive and dumb is slavery as well. I'd rather be smart and well-informed and educated and be a slave that way than be a naive, dumb, ignorant slave. I don't know which one you would pick, but I would pick the well-informed, researched, educated slave. Because we're all slaves. Everything is slavery. You're slave to your taste buds. You're slave to your stomach. When it's knocking at your door and saying, feed me, feed me. What isn't being a slave? So you can spin that any way you want. Everything is slavery. See, I don't agree with this either. Understanding means you're underneath. Understanding is when you go within. So it's all phonetics and spell speaking. It's better to know than believe. Which one's it going to be for you? Appreciate all of you being here. Thanks all for the comments. Somebody asked me about this right here. I don't have any knowledge on that. Let's take a peek. I don't know what it is. Truth. Well, 36. Where do you go from here? A lot of people are going to reduce down to the number 9. I wouldn't. Do you think the 36 would want to get reduced down? Do you like getting reduced down? I don't. It's a 36. Well, can we connect it to anything? Yeah, how about this? Just talked about it. When Eve ate the fruit, it's Genesis 3 verses 6. Can we connect that? Yeah. What else can we connect with it? Krypton. Right here. Hidden knowledge? Maybe. We also have the element chlorine, 17. And I think argon actually has, no, sulfur does. I think sulfur has 36. Yeah, sulfur's got 36. So you can connect that. If you go to the Terra, what's the 36 card? The Mastermind, the King of Wands. It's tied to the Yod. So what are the cards for the Yod He Vahe? It's the card tied to September 11th. So we can connect that to the 36. If you take the 36 and you subtract the total amount of Hebrew letters, 22, you're going to get 14. So what letter does this actually connect to? Nun, this one. Emet connects to Nun. 36 minus 22 is 14. And what is Nun? Serpent. Truth tied to the serpent. CJ says true free will is turning away from the subjective self away. Well, let me ask you, CJ, what is your best evidence that you have free will? I would love to hear it. You can send me an email, decodeyourreality@gmail.com. If you think you got free will, I would love to hear your best evidence of it. Because I say you don't have any. Maybe in the shoes you buy or the sunglasses you're going to buy, maybe those. But even that's debatable. Yep. People get very angry when you explain there's no free will, even though neuroscientists have long proven this. Yep. Subconscious. Neuroscience. We've done Free Will Decoded on this channel. I didn't just give you my opinion. I gave you the evidence, the receipts. Benjamin Libet, I think his name is, was the guy made famous for showing that the brain makes decisions milliseconds, sometimes seconds before you actually make the move. Before you actually do it. The brain already made the decision to do it. That's not my opinion, by the way. Free will is absolute BS. Unless somebody here can provide me evidence, your best, give me your best evidence to prove that you have free will. What is your best evidence? Just doing something doesn't prove that you have free will. We've talked about this so many times on this channel where so many different examples, you don't even know where to begin. I'll give you that example I've used before. You're in the kitchen and you just had a party. Last night you had a party, had some friends over, you had some wine, so you're in the kitchen cleaning up the dishes, and you're cleaning the wine glasses, and you crack the wine glass and it slices open your finger, so bad that you need stitches. So you go to the hospital to get stitched up. And the doctor or nurse that stitches you up, you have chemistry with that person. Hey, can I take you out? I think you're pretty cool. Da, da, da. Next thing you know, you're in a relationship with that person. You don't think that stuff's happened? Happens all the time. Different scenarios. So did you break the wine glass to get into that relationship with the person that stitched you up? Or is it the other way around? That relationship dictated you having the party and having and that means all the guests that came over to drink from the wine glasses, that had to be part of the fate and destiny. It wouldn't be complete without them. So it just branches off and branches off and branches off, where everybody's life is scripted. You're a movie star. Now, you don't have to agree, because I know a lot of you don't agree with that. That's fine. I'm very passionate about this stuff, and my final answer is we live through fate and destiny. I stand by that, not just standing by it, saying it. I bring the receipts like a detective. That's what we do. We bring the receipts, and then we narrate, we find the storyboard, and we make sense of it with logic or discernment. That's what you have to do in a court of law. You go to if you have ever been to a court, if you ever had to go to that shit show, there's a plaintiff and a defendant, and they have to bring discovery to the court. Whether you go to trial and you have to convince the jury, the 10 people or whatever in the jury, you need to convince them that you're innocent. Or in the plaintiff's case, they need to prove that they're guilty. Well, you just can't go there and say, well, they did this and they did that, and show no discovery. You need to show discovery to get a verdict. Well, the same situation is in our lives. And the things that we end up adopting as our truth. Where's your discovery? Where's the evidence? So again, I haven't had one single person yet show me any evidence of, yeah, I'm in control of my life. Zero, nothing, zilcho. Because they don't bring discovery, they just bring an opinion. Everybody's got an opinion. That's totally fine. And I'm not going to take your opinion away from you. But when it comes to discovery, I haven't seen any yet. And I know it turns people, I know it pisses people off. They get angry, they get thumbs down. I don't like this channel. I understand. I get it. I totally get it. It's a hard pill to swallow. Yep. It thinks, and you have the thoughts. If you want to listen to an amazing discourse, Heart of the Matter, Werner Erhard. Right here. Go listen to this. I actually pulled an excerpt. I have It Thinks, one of the videos I have on my channel, It Thinks. This one. I don't know if it's going to pull it up. It Thinks. It's in my channel though, but it's from this. And Werner Erhard was one of the greats. If you've ever done Landmark, that's him. He's the guy behind it. You should check it out. He's saying it thinks. Your mind, that's what it's thinking. And you have the thoughts. Brent asks, I agree that it seems like there's no evidence of free will. What do you think this reality would be like if we did have free will? We probably wouldn't be here anymore. We'd probably be extinct. That's what probably would happen. I like what Thompson said in Adjustment Bureau. You have the illusion of free will. Matt Damon's like, I do things all the time. I make choices all the time. Thompson says, he's like, you're still here because of us. I think there's truth to it. I don't understand this question too much. How do advertisements work with no free will? Well, anything that you're influenced by, it was part of your script. If there's something that I showed you here or talked to you or something you read in the comments tonight or whenever you watch this and it sparks an idea, I get this all the time from people. I go to my Patreon, I get a comment from somebody. Just one little word. And now I'm off to decode something and I have these revelations. If it wasn't for that person, I wouldn't have done it. Part of the script. I was supposed to see that. So if that's what you mean by that, we're always being marketed to, constantly being marketed to, right? This whole entire world that we live in is a soup bowl of marketing. And it's all harvesting. That's what it is. We live in this battery. Even when you if any of you have been following the World Cup, you go to a stadium like that, it's a harvesting station. You know how many emotions are going on at these stadiums? It's the most popular sport in the world. All these people giving off their emotions. It's a harvesting place. You go to a movie theater, harvesting. You go to a church, harvesting. All these people are giving their energy to this. It's all harvesting. Harvesting. Sports, harvesting. It's all it is. The whole thing. Movies, religion, the entire earth is a harvesting station. And these are concentrated, these. People go crazy at these events. They get angry. It's all harvesting. That's what it is. Designed for that. We live in this battery. Got to keep the battery charged. That's why I sometimes surrender. What's the point? Just go with the flow. Trust the script. Exactly. It's so relieving to stop trying to control everything. Once you study your code, folks, like I'll give you an example. And I was talking about this earlier. Actually, I'm just going to do it so you can watch my screen. It's just easier that way. So when I went up to Calgary, Canada, I went up there specifically to go visit my buddy John. We've become great friends. He's an amazing human being. And I already knew he was an 8 of clubs. Okay? I knew he was a fellow 8. I'm an 8 of spades. My birth card, he's an 8 of clubs. So I'm like, awesome, this guy's an 8. 8 means power. That's what it means. If you're an 8 birthday, 8 life path, if you have a birth card of an 8, you are in the realm of power. You're dealing with power. Because the 8 is the infinity symbol. You can't break an 8. 8 and 0 are the only 2 numbers that you can draw on a piece of paper and never lift the pen up off the paper. 0, just go around and around till you bore a hole through the paper. The number 8, same thing. All the other numbers, you have to pick the pen up off the paper to draw it again. So I go to Calgary to go see John. The 8 of clubs. He is a muscle activator. He's a mechanic. What he does is he helps the body get back to its rhythm again. When you have areas of stuck energy, he helps the body get rid of those stuck areas. Whether you need a tune-up or an overhaul on your engine, the body being the engine, that's what he does. So I already knew he was an 8. And I already knew he was dialed in because if you're an 8 of clubs, it's one of the most psychic cards there is. So I know he's getting flashes of brilliance. And the guy's a wizard. Well, what is it in the tarot? This. The 8 of Wands. This is movement. Movement. So, let me show you. This is the script playing out. See? All this energy, movement, momentum, energy, positivity. This is a card tied right to the sun. The wands, the clubs. So what did he do when I went to go see him? He created movement in my body again, where I had stuck areas in my muscle, or my muscles weren't turned on, or I have injuries that are stuck in certain areas. I go see him. Movement. Light. This is the card of lightning. Spirit of God. All you got to do is go look at the sun. Watch. We'll go to Unsplash. Look at the wands coming out of the sun. See them? See the wands coming out of the sun? Of course you do. That's these. 19 is the 8th prime number. 19, the sun, is the 8th prime number. This is the 8 of wands. The wands coming out. That's why the wands are first. It could be second. Something could be behind that. So when I went to see John, he activated my body again. He made the movement happen again. All scripted. We were laughing and we had such a good time laughing because it was just so ridiculous. It was just so ridiculous. All the things that happened and all the things that happened prior to me. And then when I came there and then reverse engineering it and saying, oh, there's the script playing out. That's why I came here. So when you are observing the code and you see it and it's observing you back, you're in the flow. And yes, it's scripted to get into that space. So if you get to that space, great. I'm not saying you're going to have a red carpet. I like this comment. This one's good right here. Illusion of control turned a large portion of humanity into narcissists. Well, you know what my truth is? Everybody's a narcissist. We all have narcissism in us. Narcissism is just like it's got to be about me. It's about me. A trait of narcissism is me, me, me. Have you never been that way? Next time you argue with somebody, what are you trying to do? You're trying to say, I'm right and you're wrong. That's narcissism. What are you arguing for? Trying to be right. Everybody's got layers of narcissism in them. We all are bipolar. There's just gradients of it. It's just a joke. It's kind of funny. If you can at least consider that, you're free. Eight of Hearts, power of love. Just remember, I'll go through these again with all of you. And you should, like, folks, if you haven't done the Spotlight course, what are you waiting for? If you're a heart, I feel. If you're a heart suit, if you're a cup suit, I feel. Your primary driver in life above everything else is I feel. You navigate through life. The rudder of your ship is feelings. I think. Fire. I ignite. I think. I have great ideas. This is John's birth card. The guy has a ton of great ideas. If you're a club, your primary driver in life is I think. The nemesis of you're in your head too much. You may not make decisions. You may procrastinate because you got too many. Like if you're 8 of clubs, if you're a 5 of clubs, if you're this is the card of Adam. Like Adam and Eve, this is the card of Adam. 5 of clubs, this is the card of the Matrix. Gloria Foster, who played the Oracle in the Matrix, this is her birth card, November 15th. This is the card of the Matrix. How many fingers do I have? 5. 5 sits in the middle of your dial pad. It gets all the energy. If you're a 5 life path, 5 birthday, you're a busybody. You got ants in your pants. You need a lot of variety in your life. You need a lot of independence in your life. I think. Curious. Movement of the mind. If you're a diamond, this is the card for today, July 12th. I know 2 birthdays on July 12th. Izzy, happy birthday, and Carmen, if you're watching. Great soul to return, July 12th. They're both in Australia. 3 of diamonds. I want. The diamonds are physical. That doesn't mean you have to have a plethora of shit in your house. This card is the expansion of physicalness. Your job as a 3 of diamonds is to build things. The expansion 3 and diamonds physical. I want. That's what you incarnated for, man. You're a diamond. Spade. What's up, Bobby? From New York. 5 of spades. I am. Spade suits are the I am. Spirituality. The spade suit is, in this system, this is the last suit. The hearts are the first suit. When I put them together, what do you see there? Well, the spade is the upside down heart. See? In this system that we've been learning from Sharon, the great card, my friend Sharon Jeffers, the hearts are first. In this system, the spades are last. I am. Spirituality. Esoteric. Right? I'm an 8 of spades, so I have the power of the esoteric. That's why I do all this stuff. So if you want to, and folks, it's not, this is just your primary. You have your spirit card. Then you have 13 other cards. You have 14 cards in the lineage of the cards, man, that you could take, get definitions from, and then take those and put them into your astrological chart and get definitions even deeper there. Why would you do that? Well, if you want to know about how you're coded and what you're supposed to be doing here. If you're a parent and you got a child that you're raising, don't you want the cheat sheet on the child? If I was a dad, man, I would be studying my kid all the time. Because as they mature from their springtime to their summertime, you're going to start to see it unfold like a flower. And you can gently nudge that child towards what they're built to be. That's the value in all this stuff. If you want the best relationship that you're in, you gotta study your partner's love signature. I'm convinced that one of the main reasons why people do not remain in a relationship and it goes sour is because they don't know their partner. You would swear, oh yeah, I know them. Have you studied their code? Do you know where their Venus is at? Do you know how they get their emotional payoffs? Do you know how they want to expand in their lives? Jupiter. Do you want to know what their ambitions are and their drives and determinations are? Mars. Do you want to know what their fantasies are? Poseidon. Do you want to know the way they think? Mercury. But you got to move into the true sidereal. You got to move into the true sky. You can't follow these mad systems of magic that are outdated. Because you're going to be under the guise of that magic, and we live in a world of magic. And to me, you're not on the frequency that's in tune with this reality. Like if you're going to tune yourself, like when you tune a guitar, do you tune a guitar to get it maybe close? No, if you're playing live on stage, the guitar must be tuned exactly to get the notes to come out the way you want them to come out. That's the same thing when it comes to these systems of magic. Especially with astrology, it's astronomy first. So when you're finding your definitions, if you're getting it from tropical, your tune is going to be off. When it comes to what's in line with the cosmos, true sky astrology, stellarium, and mastering the zodiac are the closest you're going to get to fine-tune yourself to the natural law of this world. Okay? Shido says the correct order of the card suits is diamonds, clubs, hearts, spades. Well, in this system, it's not. This is what I learned from. But, of course, I understand why diamonds are first. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. I don't know if you can see this. You can't, but this is a picture of the sun. You can't see it, but the wands are coming out of it, but there's a diamond in the middle. I've played around with this 1,000,000 times. No joke. Spades first, diamonds first, hearts first, clubs first. So I revised all of them. I revised it all. And when I revised it, the diamonds end up sitting in the crown line. It's called the true nature. So I am in agreement that the diamonds can come first. Which is why you see them do this all the time. The Merkle. It's a diamond. A rhombus. So I wouldn't say that it's the correct order. It's a order. But even the Golden Dawn, their order in the tarot is this. This is the Golden Dawn's order. Wands first, Cups second, Swords third, Pentacles fourth. Now, I can tell you right now from the research, the tarot comes first. Tarot was created before the card system. The French system came out in the 14th century. These came first. And the wands were the first suit. The batons were the first suit. And I think it's just because of that. Now, could there, as I mentioned, is there something behind this? Could there be a diamond there? Absolutely there could. Could be a diamond there. And the wands are coming out of the diamond. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. If you're getting into the Vesica Piscis, the diamond absolutely is tied to the center point of that. The octahedron, the two tetrahedrons put together, absolutely. But the order of the Golden Dawn, this is their spread. This is theirs. The order that they have. We put it into the true nature and we went wands first, swords second. Because it's air, fire, air, water, earth. So there's 1,000,000 combinations of these cards that you can look at. No, Jasmine, it's fire, plasma, air, water, earth. Those are the four elements in order. Can you put air first? I guess you could. Yeah, guys, if you want to know where to go for the course, if you're looking at me on the screen, it's right below. The web address is right below, underneath me on the screen. www.spotlight.life. The web address is right there on the TV, right below the TV screen. Yeah, Jasmine, I don't know where you fit the ether in that. You could say the 5 elements. I mean, Chinese has got metal in there. So you do have that. So again, it's just another layer of everything. All right, so if you, listen, I'll take you on it again. There's the website, Spotlight. Lite, right? If you want to sign up, it's free. Do we have donations? Yep, it's a donation based, no obligation. They are appreciated, keeps the lights on. There's free books that are involved with this that you can download. Okay? All this is going to cost you is your time. All you have to do is click on this login button right here. It's going to take you to this, and you can, if you have a Google, or you can just sign up with the email right here. Once you're signed in, you're going to go back up here, and you should have your avatar, your logo there, and you click on this, and it's going to have a drop down, and you'll be able to be taken to the course, right? So what can you do with this? You can decode your pets. Yep, they're different than humans, but you can decode your pets if you have their birthday. Absolutely. You can decode your children. This is the big thing with Spotlight, is your kids. See, because your parents, I mean, as a parent, don't you want to honor your kid's destiny? As it says, many kids are unconsciously pressed into walking a path that mirrors their parents. A lot of kids resent their parents for pushing them into a career that they weren't built for. So you got the kids. Then you got your individual, you, yourself, right? Who you are. Once you know who you are, folks, and what you're supposed to be doing, then you can surrender in so many different ways. And the big one is partnerships. Knowing your partner. Again, my opinion is the main reason why people end up breaking off relationships is because they don't know each other. They don't know their partner's love signature, how they need to be loved. To give you an example, if you go to Stellarium right now, on July 12th, forget the sun, Venus. Right now, if you're born on July 12th, Venus is in Leo. Don't listen to these people that tell you Venus is in Virgo. It is not in Virgo right now. Bullshit. It's in, all you got to do is look up. Where's Dr. Danny at? All you got to do is go look up in the sky when it's bright and clear, and you'll see Venus, or Jupiter's the big marker. You can see Jupiter in Cancer right now. It ain't in Leo, man. Anyway, if you have Venus in Leo, Venus is your love signature. Leo is the center of attention. So there is a layer of like, you need to be admired. You want to be loved with fierceness and loyalty and compassion. Leo is ruled by the sun. So the characteristics of this person's love signature being born today is going to have a heck of a lot to do with the sun. Folks, what is the sun? When it comes up in the sky, it's the center of attention. So because it rules Leo, the love signature is, there is a layer of, I want to be the center of attention. I want you to shower me with gifts. I want you to tell me how beautiful my mane is. I want you to tell me how beautiful my hair looks. I want you to tell me how beautiful my makeup looks. I want you to be loyal to me. I want you to be very compassionate. The lioness. If you're a guy with a girl, she's the lioness. You gotta love her the way she wants to be loved. Because if you have your Venus somewhere else, you're gonna more than likely, you're gonna be, for the very first beginning of the relationship, when the honeymoon stage is, it doesn't matter in the beginning. It doesn't matter in the beginning of the relationship because it's new and the oxytocin and dopamine is high. and everything's fine. But give it a year. And when the wheels fall off, and they always do, if you're not loving your partner the way they want to be loved, you're going to have issues. You're going to start to have issues. People won't tolerate it. So this is the value of the Spotlight course, is knowing. So how would you get this definition of somebody who has Venus and Leo? You just plug it into AI. What does Venus mean? What does a love signature mean? And I get all through the course. Folks, you don't even have to think about it when you take this course. You don't even have to think, like if you have no experience at all, it doesn't matter. You don't need to have any. Because with the course comes downloads, PDFs, and instructions on what to copy and paste to put into AI. It's that easy. It's simple. It's very, very easy, folks, to do this course. All you have to do is commit and spend 30 minutes 3 times a week. You'll finish it in a month. It's not a long time. Perfect opportunity. Matrix Glitch. Welcome out. Never seen your name before? I've been in your shoes. It's not fun sometimes. The only thing that I can suggest to you is to be selfish right now. And what I mean by that is, when you're struggling in life, trying to figure it out, it's time to be selfish. Not in a manipulative way, but in a way of putting time into you. See, the universe brought you struggle so you can get out of struggle. So it's a lesson. And if I were to say, what's the best thing to do when you're struggling? Go study yourself. Put yourself on a pedestal. Go study. It doesn't matter what the world defines you as. What defines you is your raw code. What will define you is your raw astrology and your numerology and your life paths and your tarot and your cards and your totem pole and your Enneagram and your Chinese zodiac. Those are what nobody can take away from you. So you study your blueprint. Be selfish about it, where I'm going to cut myself off from the outside world. I'm going to study myself and pay attention to me. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to invest into me. And when you finish the course and you continue to read about yourself, what is it going to do? It's going to empower you. Because you are the most important person living in this world today. You are. Any of you that are struggling right now, the great news is it's not permanent. That's the best news, is it ain't permanent. Don't treat it like it's a permanent thing. It's only temporary. What you do during the times of struggle is going to define you when you get out of that struggle. I say go study yourself. Go put yourself on a pedestal. Discover your true essence and why you're here and what you're good at. And it gets reinforced by what you intuitively know of what you're good at. And when you come out of the struggle, you're going to be way ahead of the curve. Not just coming out of the struggle and saying, okay, what's next? When you're in the struggle and you discover who you are and why you're here, when you come out of that struggle, you already know where you're going. And it just might be a big piece of why you get out of the struggle. Because you're like, you know what? I don't have time for this shit anymore. I don't get time for this struggle anymore. I get it. Thank you for showing up. You be grateful for the struggle. You're grateful for the adversary in your life, and then you make something out of it. You make lemonade out of it. You know, a lot of people during lockdown, 2020, 2021, a lot of people complained, bickered, moaned and groaned, got mad and angry and wasted all those emotions on something that didn't give them any benefits. But yet there were people that made lemonade out of it. Because all of us know what it feels like to be in prison. During COVID, we all had to have somewhat of a lockdown. You were in prison. Well, you either made lemonade out of being in prison or you complained about being in prison. Personally, for me, I made lemonade out of it. I empowered myself. I forged right ahead. I kept going. Like it wasn't even going on. So if you're struggling right now, be selfish, put time into yourself. Come out of this struggle with running, hitting the ground running, where it pulls you out of the struggle and you're already 10 steps ahead of everything. That's the best suggestion I can tell you. Support groups are great. Absolutely. I'm not going to tell you not to go do that kind of stuff or be around those kinds of people. But studying yourself is the best medicine. Because there's nobody in that material, none of the material that you're going to read about yourself, there's nobody in there that's going to tell you can't do this, you can't do that. Oh yeah, I totally feel you. And supporting your struggle. Because again, a lot of the support groups you go to, where, you know, it has to be positive and not negative. You hear a lot of people about their struggles. It enforces your struggle when you hear they're struggling. I like to do the opposite. Like I'm all for, I think AA is great. What I'm not in agreement with is going to AA and admitting you're an alcoholic. It's the worst thing you can do. It's a magic spell you're placing over yourself. If I were to go to AA, I'd be like, hi, my name's Logan, and I used to be an alcoholic. I'm not going to enforce the magic spell around me that I'm an alcoholic. No, I used to be. That's the better choice of magic spells. But just remember, man, those of you that are struggling right now, it ain't permanent. We as human beings, we like to attach permanency to things. Like if you're in a job right now and you don't like the job, tell yourself it's only temporary. Instead of treating it like, oh, I got to get up to go to work and it's just you're on this hamster wheel, and you just treat it like it's a permanent situation. It's only temporary. You got to start speaking the magic spells of like, it's only temporary. It's only temporary. One day I'm going to get out of this. I'm going to move into something else. But you got to continue to tell yourself that. Well, when you say you don't have any lemons left, I think you got plenty left. Cut some things out of your life. What can you cut out of your life? How can you simplify your life? That creates lemons. Oh, so you got a psychopath's mother. Okay, I get it. So you gotta, I mean, how can you leave? That's a tough one without knowing all the circumstances. And I'm not a doctor. I can't give you any medical advice. I'm not a therapist. So this is not any of that stuff. I don't have all the answers, and I certainly don't know your complete situation. But if it was me, I would be immersing myself in my code, studying my code, and leveling up in that area. And that could propel you into moving into a different way of being. You're like, what do you do with your free time? Do you spend it on personal development, or do you spend it on just, my life's miserable and I don't like my life? And so if you're in that space, it can be rather challenging to get out of it. I mean, right now you're here listening to this channel, so you have time for you. So that means that if you don't come on this channel to watch this, or you're not, how much time do you spend on social media to escape? Switch it on to Spotlight, studying yourself. Thanks everybody for being here. Somebody's asking about Spotlight got me selfish and dialed in. Folks, it's okay to be selfish. Selfish has a bad rap. When somebody says, you're being selfish, are they just deflecting what they're being? What does selfish mean? It's okay to be paying attention to yourself, because you're investing into yourself. As long as you're investing into yourself, not the selfish eyes, like I'm just going to plop myself down in front of the TV or computer and just watch shows all day long. I'm talking about real personal development. One little thing can cause a trajectory move where you move out of the situation you're in. But you got to do something different. You got to wake up tomorrow and do something different that you didn't do today. It's actually a great thing to do, is every day you wake up, you do something a little bit different and watch your life start to move into a different direction. Totally agree with this. Every time you add on something to your life becomes heavier and more weighed down. I got a friend of mine who has more clothes than they know what to do with. Clothes that haven't been worn in years. And when you have that amount of clothes, you got to move them, right? Like, this person is not in a permanent living situation and has these clothes over at a different place. And now you got to get them from that place to this place. And of course, it's a long distance in between. So now it's going to cost money to do that. Becomes a liability. It's okay to have a big closet with nice things. That's not the issue. I'm saying is that everything that you continue to add on to your life becomes a liability. If you go out there and you spend $1,000 on Bitcoin or XRP, and that $1,000 means a lot to you, I would bet you're going to be watching the markets every single day. And you get emotionally involved with the up and down yo-yo of crypto. So then you're being a slave to it. Right? If you buy a brand new car, it's going to cost you more money for the insurance. It's okay to have a brand new car. It's going to cost you more insurance. You going to be okay with that? You're probably going to be on the alert of where you're going to park it. You may park it crooked. Or you may park it farther down in the parking lot because you don't want anybody to hit it. So you're paying attention to that. It becomes an asset because it's a new car. It becomes a liability. You don't want anybody to hit it or ding it. You got to pay more money for insurance. It's going to cost more to repair it. So it's very freeing when you get rid of the attachments in your life. Not everybody's built that way, though. But it's very freeing. Oh, sorry. Somebody asked me, do you believe in ghosts and spirits? I have never encountered a ghost in my life. But I know people who have. So I have a choice to make. I can call them a liar, or I can say ghosts are real. Same with aliens. I got people I know that have been abducted. Never met an alien. Never been abducted. Are they lying? I'd have to say they'd be lying. I wouldn't say that. So my belief is irrelevant. My opinion is meaningless. Especially if everything that I've said here tonight. It could be completely hogwash, meaningless in your world. No matter, despite what I've shown for support, it may not matter at all. What matters most is you and your truth. You create this reality and the world around you. So my opinion's meaningless. Your neighbor's opinion's meaningless. Maybe if you're a person who asks your friends, hey, what do you think about this? Or what do you think about that? Maybe you should stop doing that. Because you know what's going to happen when you ask your friend for advice? They're going to give you advice based upon how they see the world. Maybe something just happened to them. And it's kind of along the same lines as the situation that you're asking about. And they got burned. And it really hurt them in the situation. Oh, hell no, you shouldn't do that at all. Because they just got burned by something. So for me, I think asking people's opinions on what they would do is the worst thing you could do. Scripted or not. I think you do it internalize and go with what your instincts are telling you. Not what anybody else thinks. At the end of the day, my opinion do not pay your bills or does not pay your bills and vice versa. Maybe this is the last time you're going to come to this channel and you're saying that Logan dude is full of it. That's totally fine. This is not a channel that's cookie cutter. I don't bake cakes here. Okay? We don't make pizza pies here. We talk about things that can be uncomfortable here, that rub people the wrong way, that piss people off. I like to talk about the things that people don't want to talk about. Some people call it the ugly truth. It's your truth. If I sit down with each and every one of you, if I got the chance to sit down with each and every one of you individually and we lay out all our truths, I already know that we are not going to see eye to eye on everything in the world that we see. Are we going to argue about it? Who's right and who's wrong? How can we make the world, everybody wants, the majority of people in this chat, if I say, hey, do you want to make the world a better place? You're going to say yes. Why are you following people that are constantly attacking other people? Why do you follow people that curse other people and put people down just because they don't agree with your truth? Why are you following people that are attacking other people? I don't know. How can we make the world a better place? You say you want the world to be a better place. How do we make the world a better place when we are following and enforcing people that are trying to be, I got it all figured out kind of people? I'm superior to the world around me. Nobody is superior than me in my field. And I will attack anybody that comes into my field and I will prove them wrong. Why are people still following these kinds of people? How can that kind of attitude change the world for you want the positive change? How does someone like that make the positive change in the world? How? It doesn't add up. If you are going to be authentic with how you see the world, what you're going to come up with is a lot of people in the world that you follow, you don't even resonate with them and you still follow them. Maybe because they're popular. I don't know. Listen, folks, I'll tell you straight up, man, I ain't got it all figured out for you. I do not have it all figured out for you. I don't even have it all figured out for me. How the hell do I have it all figured out for you? I don't. I don't have it all figured out. Okay? I do not have it all figured out. This channel is not about I got it all figured out channel. No, this is not that channel. You're not going to find me saying, I got it all figured out. And anybody that doesn't agree with me, I will hammer them. I'll debate anybody. Because I got it all figured out. How the hell does that change the world for a positive way of life? I'm not talking about anybody specific, Jasmina. This is what I see collectively. I see a lot of people online that think they got it all figured out. And then they just literally sacrifice love so they can be right. That's what they do. I mean, this is classic Werner Erhard from Landmark. He says it in relationships. You know what he says about love relationships? Talking about making the world a better place, right? It starts with you. Werner Erhard said in relationships, he says, I will bet that anywhere in your life that you're trying to be right, you're sacrificing love. That's what you're doing. The next time you argue with your significant other, you are sacrificing love so you can be right. How does that make the world a better place? It's okay to post your opinions. It's okay to state your truth. It's okay to stand your ground. Absolutely. But are you going to go out of your way to try to be superior to other people? How does that make the world a better place? I just don't see it. So that's why, for me, ladies and gentlemen, I don't follow anybody. I'm a loner. Not because I got it all figured out. So I just don't resonate with a lot of people anymore. Just don't. Not to say that they're wrong, because they're not. Everybody's right. I'll say it again. Everybody is right. Even when you're trying to say you're wrong and they are wrong, because there is that 1 + 1 = 2 fact. Like when I tell you, we go to astronomy, right? Jupiter's in Cancer. Right here. July 12th, 2026. 11:03. Just go right to the exact time. There you go. Right now. Where's Jupiter? Jupiter's in Cancer. But then when I go to YouTube and we type in Jupiter, why are people saying Jupiter's in Leo? What the hell's going on? See, I know this is a computer program, but I can go outside on a clear night and I can look up at the sky. Jupiter's a really bright planet, and you'll see it in front of Gemini in Cancer. So in this case, ladies and gentlemen, if somebody is saying that Jupiter's in Leo, wrong. You're not right. You're right in your world. You're pushing your magic and it's right for you, but you're spreading lies because it is not in Leo. It's in Cancer. And we can verify this by going outside and getting the evidence to support that this is nonsense. So these are everything's a distraction, but this is even a double distraction. Because people are pushing magic. They're right. Because if you ask him, is Jupiter in Leo? This guy's going to say, of course it is. Oh, is that so? Let's go outside and look. Where is it? And if you were to show somebody this, you know what a lot of people are going to do? Oh, I don't use that. What do you mean you don't use it? This is astronomy, man. Now, I'm not the guy. I've said it in the videos that the 1 + 1 = 2 fact is that Zeus is in Cancer right now. I don't care if I'm not going to go out there and say you're wrong. I'll say it here. That's as far as I'm going to go. I'm not going to sacrifice love for it. I'm not going to go on someone's page and start an argument with them. I've gone on and said Zeus is not in Leo right now. That's it. I don't care if you don't want to adopt that as a truth. I can see it in the sky. So everybody's right. But not everybody gets to be right. It's a big difference. But to go out there and try to start fights with people just so you can try to look a superior, I don't know. It's just, we live in a world of magic, man. We're all magic people. I hope by now, folks, you have at least considered graduating from that frame of mind. There's a good story in theology about this. I learned this from Jordan Maxwell. If you know who Jordan Maxwell was, the late great Jordan Maxwell. I got to meet him. I was watching one of his videos, and he was talking about, in theology, if you know theology, the story of Barnabas. Barnabas was the thief that was going to be put to death. And so as the story goes, it says that Pontius Pilate, the Roman pontiff, back in those days, they would ask the people who they wanted to be put to death. So the story goes that it was Pontius Pilate said, hey, do you want to put Jesus to death? Or do you want to put Barnabas to death? And what did the people choose? They chose Jesus. Oh no, hang that guy. Who do you want to let go free? Barnabas. Barnabas, yeah, Barnabas. Put Jesus to death. Barnabas needs to be set free. And the reason why they wanted to set free Barnabas is because the people resonated with Barnabas. He was a thief, and he was this, and he was a this, he was a whatever. He was a major sinner. And the people resonated more with that than they could with this guy who was, as the story of Jesus, real or not, was a blameless, upright man. People couldn't resonate with that kind of character. So they're like, dude, screw that dude. I like this guy. I'm a thief. I cheat on my wife. I lie. I steal. So you need to let Barnabas go. That's what happened. So it's the same situation going on right now in our own personal lives, ladies and gentlemen. Who are your friends? Who do you follow? Who do you follow on this platform, YouTube, since we're here? Who do you associate with? Who do you get your information from? I don't care how smart somebody is. I don't care what kind of credentials somebody has. If you start acting a certain way that I wouldn't hang out with character-wise, I don't resonate with, I don't care about your knowledge. I wouldn't hang out with a person like that. Snip, cut, bye-bye, see you later. Go find my information elsewhere, because I'm cleaning my life up. Right? I'm cleaning. How's your life look? You clean your life up. How do you clean your life up? By severing ties with people like that. It's like the story of the Christ is the sun, the purity of the sun. That's all it is. The light of the world is the purity of the sun. Right? That's pure light. People don't resonate with that. They want the pure darkness. That's why the popular channels are about, I can beat up your daddy. Or you follow me because I make millions of dollars. Or you can't debate me. I got more knowledge than you. I'll put you down. I'll smash you. You can't touch me. I got it all figured out. That's Barnabas shit. So the beauty, the aspect of the Christ energy is the light that you follow within you. How pure is it? It's not going to be absolutely pure, but I'm saying is, who do you associate with on this platform of YouTube? Who do you listen to for your information? What kind of character are they? Severing ties with people, folks, gives a lot of freedom, because what you're doing is you're eliminating the Barnabas. You're eliminating the darkness. You're like, you know what? I'm not okay with that kind of personality anymore. I'll find it elsewhere. I'll find it from somebody who's more pure. And sometimes you might get rewarded for that. Sometimes maybe not. I don't know. But it doesn't matter. You're not doing it to get rewards. You're not doing it to get ahead in life. You're doing it because that's what your character calls you to do. I mean, do you go to a doctor and say, I'll take my chances. Oh, you've had unsuccessful operations. I think I'll roll the dice with this person. No way. Those of you that have gotten dental work done, I'm sure you've researched the dentist that you go to. Is he a good dentist? Is she a good dentist? What have experience? What kind of pain? What kind of, stuff that causes you pain, you're interested in knowing how can I not experience the pain. But when it comes to knowledge, you'll be okay with somebody who's belligerent and vile and just nasty personality, or just is a know-it-all, thinks they got it all figured out and everybody else is below them. You'll be okay with that. Not me, man. I don't have time for it. I don't resonate with the kind of attitude and personality. I just don't. And I know a lot of you agree with this. I mean, I've cut out friends, folks. I don't know about you, but I've cut people out of my life that I'm friends with for a long time. And it was just like, you call me up because you want something. Not just calling up to say, hey, what's going on? Like, what are you doing? What you up to? How's life? Not that. No, it's like, hey, how's life? Oh, yeah, what's going on? Hey, I need your help with something. It's just like this manipulation of like, let me get my foot in the door. Let me kind of like rub your shoulder a little bit, and then I need you to do something for me. Snip, snip, snip. It's okay, man, to have a small group of friends. Lisa asks, where did you meet Jordan Maxwell? I met him in Las Vegas in 2016 or 2017. I was speaking, as actually my first speaking engagement. And I remember meeting him. I was walking into the event. He was walking out by himself. And that was one of the things that I wanted to do, was meet him. And he was so nice, super nice guy. And I remember that event because when my speaking engagement, I think there was like 5 people in the audience. There was nobody there. It's kind of funny. Anyways. Well, here's the thing about people that I've found anyway. People are users. We all are users. This is the thing I want to talk about, what people don't want to talk about. You and I use people. How can it be any other way? Am I using you as an audience? Because am I going to talk to an empty audience? Are you using me for some kind of like some kind of spark? The answer is yes and yes. When you sit down on the couch with your partner and you hold their hand, are you using them to hold their hand? Yes. Can you make out with yourself? No, you need your partner to make out with when you kiss them. We use each other. You say, oh, I have this really good friend. Oh, why are they a really good friend? Oh my God, they're so funny. They're hilarious. Every time I go out there, I laugh my ass off. So you go use this person so you get a laugh. That's the hard truth of it all, folks. It's okay that we use each other. You use your partner uses you. You have sex with your partner, you're using them to have an orgasm. It's okay. It's the way it is. It's no different than me having a handyman come over to fix the refrigerator and I pay him and he fixes the refrigerator. It's an exchange of energy. I use him, he uses me. He gets money, I get service. No difference than somebody having sex with somebody. Use each other. You kiss somebody, you use them for the kiss so you can get the oxytocin to flood to the brain. So you can feel good. So you can be in love. You can't be in love unless you fall in love with somebody. With a person anyway. You need a person to use so you can experience falling in love. It's just the way it is. That's the way life is, man. So any of your friends that you have that are very close to you, and if I ask you, why are you friends with them? There's reasons why you're friends with them. Because they give you something. They offer you something. Maybe it's companionship. You use them for companionship. Maybe you have a friend that you can call and they can listen and then they're very good listeners and you can talk to them about anything. Maybe they're your therapist and they don't get any money from it. A lot of you have friends that you literally call your friend up so you can talk because they'll listen. And they talk you off a ledge. Some of you have friends that are your therapists, and they're not even professional therapists, but you treat them like that. Not on purpose, but because they're good listeners. They probably could be a therapist. So you use that person so you can get it off your chest. Oh my God, I just got to tell you. Oh my God, I've been waiting to talk to you all day. I got to talk to you about this. Why that person? Because I trust that person. So you use that person because you trust them and you dump your problems on that person. So you use them to dump your problems because you trust them. It's okay. That's life, man. We use each other. You constantly use each other. People are, buy my CD, buy my music. Take my course. Buy my jewelry. Take my coaching course. Let me personal train you. I'll train you and you give me money for it. I'll use you for money, you use me for training. That's the truth of it. It's the hard truth, man. How can it be any other way? We're all users. We're all parasites. The earth is the host and we parasite off the earth. And then your body parasites off of you. The next time you have this sweet tooth, it's not a sweet tooth. It's your body parasiting off of you. It could actually be a parasite inside of you that's craving the sugar. Maybe it's candida and it's parasiting off of you. It's using you. There are parasites in your body right now that use you as a host. And we use people as hosts. I think what makes a really great friend is somebody that you can call up and say, hey, what's going on, man? How you feeling today? What's going on? What's new and exciting in your world? How's the weather over there? Have you taken a walk lately? What's going on with you? Even that is using somebody because you're getting a jolt of feelings from that. This reality, folks, it's absurd. It's so glorious and so beautiful, but it's so simple and so absurd. What is the point of life, man? And I was watching this video of this guy, and he was saying it was so monumental. I wish I would have kept it. But he said he was standing in front of a tombstone. You know, I'll take you on the journey, and I'll do it with my voice so you can see what I'm talking about, because it's much more impactful. Right here. This date right here. The guy standing in front of the tombstone, and he says, this is your life right there. This is what you came here for. 85-2023. Your life is sandwiched in between these two dates, these 2 years. And this is what's left behind in loving memory. You're just now a memory. What did you do here? Life is a joke, man. What did you do in between these two dates? Say these dates aren't going to wait for you, you know. Squeeze every drop you can out of life. Don't wait to do what you need to do, man, because life goes by so fast. But there's your life right there, imprinted right on a tombstone, a headstone. This. So one day your name's going to be, if you get buried, one day you're going to be here. And you're going to have 2 dates imprinted on your tombstone. And what is your legacy going to say? Don't waste it, folks. Because you're going to be here one day. And that's going to be it, man. That's going to be it. A date is going to be imprinted on that thing, and it's done, and it's over with. And we don't know what happens after that. So don't waste it. If you don't like your life right now, do something different tomorrow. Then don't wake up and do the same shit tomorrow as you did today. If you don't like what's going on in your life right now, change something tomorrow. It doesn't have to be massively big. It doesn't have to be earth-shattering. But it needs to be different. And maybe that is your destiny. This message you need to hear this message. And maybe you'll wake up tomorrow and say, you know, I think I'm going to do something different. I think I'm going to cut this person out of my life because it's okay to acknowledge that you're a user. We use people. We all do it. One day, man, you're going to face that. I'm going to face it one day. Folks, I'm telling you, it's all about parasites. It's reality. A lot has to do with that. Take up residence. I learned a lot about parasites, folks, when I had them. I had H. pylori. I'm going to show you. I had this. I had it for a long time. I had no idea that I had it. It can cause ulcer. As a matter of fact, it's I think it's the leading cause of cancer in the stomach because of parasites. Don't quote me on that, but I think that might be the case. So what it does is it's evolved in the stomach, and it can survive in the gastric juices because it embeds itself. It goes inside the wall of the stomach. So when the acid comes in there, it doesn't get affected by the acid. So I'm showing you all of this, right? Because I'm telling you is this thing right here. It doesn't want to die. It's sentient. It doesn't want to die. So it evades death by going in and going down inside the membrane of the stomach wall. And it robs you of your nutrients because it's just trying to survive like you are. That's all it wants to do is survive. So you got to eradicate it because you're like, dude, you got to go, man. So I didn't even know I had it. But I learned a lot from this and the simplicity is this organism is nothing different than it is from you and I. It may not have two legs. It may not have emotions. It may not be able to fall in love. It may not be able to kiss another organism, but it definitely has one thing in common. It doesn't want to die. Do I feel bad for eradicating it? No. But I learned a lot about parasites and having it because it doesn't want to die, just like you don't want to die. So you spend a lot of your time in life avoiding death. Cutting things out of your life to make your life avoid the death pitfall. Prevention, a lot of you are into prevention, much better than curing. Prevention is where it's at for longevity. But you don't want to die. And you are just like that parasite. You want to survive. And you'll do whatever it takes to survive. And on top of that, you will try to do your best to be as comfortable as you can during that survival process. You want easy street. You don't want problems. You want to be left alone. You don't want drama, but you have drama in your life. Why? Why do you have drama in your life when you don't sign up for it? A lot of it has to do with the people you hang out with. So either you haven't learned the lesson, your code is like, you still haven't gone through that screenplay of what, if those of you that have drama in your life, some of it is, yes, okay, it's out of your control. I get that. Like if you're living with somebody and they're drama and you can't leave that situation because you don't have any money, I get that. But guess what? It's only temporary. It's not permanent. You got to keep telling yourself that. And then you got to do something different tomorrow than you did today to get out of that situation. You can't wake up and do the same thing you did yesterday and complain about, well, I don't have what I want in this situation. Right? You got to do something different. But it's all about the art of survival. And life is empty and meaningless. There's no meaning to life. There isn't any meaning to life, man. What? Because you get to get your orgasm tonight? That's your meaning of life? You get to have sex and pump away and bust one? That's the meaning of life? What's the meaning of life? Survival. That's it. Survival. And the most comfortable survival. Where you're not inconvenienced. Convenience is a big thing in your life. In my life, it's convenience. How convenient is my life? Don't interfere with my convenience. That's why I had this conversation up in Canada about wearing the masks during COVID. And I went through a little bit of that where I was like, I'm not wearing no damn mask. Screw you. I'm going to come in the store and I don't want to be inconvenienced. I don't want to be told what to do. And then I quickly realized, I'll put on the face diaper. I want my food. It's not going to hurt me. I don't care. I'll play you a little game. I know it's a game. I know it's not permanent. So I'll wear it because I want my food more than I want to have the hassle. I don't want to be hassled in life. Right? I know you don't either. I don't want to be leave me alone. You do you, I'm going to do me. Right? Because I'm trying to survive just like you. Don't try to bring me into your life and add more drama when I have my comfortability here and my conveniences. Don't bring me out of my conveniences. That's the thing. When conveniences start to get encroached upon, a lot of you have problems with that. And that's because people parasite off of you. They're parasiting off of you. They're trying to steal and rob from you. Take things from you so they can grow bigger. Why do you think the H. pylori was in my stomach? It doesn't want to die. It's robbing me of the nutrients because it needs that for survival. It doesn't. Do you think the H. pylori in my stomach, that parasite, thought about, I wonder how Logan feels as I'm stealing his nutrients? A lot of people in this world, a majority of people in this world don't think like this. Like, I wonder if I parasite from this person, I wonder how they're going to feel about it. People don't think that way. These are the things I like to talk about, though. How did I find out the exact parasite? I did a stool sample. Yeah, that's what I did. Stool sample. And then I had to go on this 14-day tried and true protocol. But everybody's got parasites. And everybody is a parasite, including you and I. We are parasites. The definition of a parasite is you're looking for a host that you can leech off of or steal or take. I mean, isn't that what a marriage is? I'd say so. It's a classic definition of being a parasite. One's a host, the other one's a parasite. And vice versa. I don't know why people can't just accept the fact that that's what it is. It's not a bad thing. I didn't say it was a bad thing. Just like the word manipulation. Manipulation is not a bad thing if you're doing it to control the situation and you're not infringing upon anybody. Like literally, manipulation, as I'm talking about, if you study somebody's code, and you see them coming your way and they're just behaving like their code says they're going to behave, and you know that as they come towards you, that's manipulation. Because I'm not going to react. I'm going to behave a certain way so you can calm down. Simple. That's the power of knowledge, of knowing. A lot of you want to know what's coming tomorrow so you can be prepared for what's coming because you don't like to be unprepared. That's why a lot of you watch tarot readings. You're online watching tarot card readers, pick-a-card readers. You don't like unpredictability. You want to know what's coming. You don't like to have it with your pants down on your ankles. All right. I'm going to wrap this one up. Let's pull some tarot cards. So the Matrix Glitch says, I don't use people to hurt them. I can use someone to help me do something. The difference is intention. Yeah, but you're still using people. I'd never said that using somebody has to be negative or hurting somebody. again, if you're in a relationship right now and you want to have sex with that person, maybe they don't want to. I got a headache tonight. I'm tired. Oh, come on, man. I'm horny. Come on, it'll be quick. This happens. For a majority of people listening to this presentation right now, this podcast, this message, you kind of force it because you're horny and they're not. Or you're horny and they're tired. Come on. And you kind of push. Are you not using your partner for that? Absolutely. Classic aspect of it. It's not a bad thing. It's just not, they're not willing. You want it. They don't want it. They're tired. You're whatever. Two different moods, two different personalities. And maybe they cave. Or maybe you go to bed and you're kind of upset and pissed off. Some of you are like that. You don't get it and you get angry. That's the thing about love signatures as well. If you meet a partner and they got a high sex drive and you don't, you're going to have problems later on down the line. You might be able to keep up in the beginning because it's exciting. And you'll have a high sex drive in the beginning because you have this, we have so much chemistry. I'm so horny with you. Yeah, and then once that wears off, and it always does, and that person has a high sex drive and you don't, you're going to have problems. You're probably going to have infidelity issues. Happens all the time. People don't know what they're getting into. They don't look at people's charts. Now there's no excuse. Dating of the future will be vetting through the mystical arts. I guarantee it. On top of that, ladies and gentlemen, before I pull these cards, I'm going to share one last thing with you. Let me see if I can find it here. China just announced see if I can find the article. Yep, here it is. Chinese company UB Tech launches hyper-real humanoid robots for lonely people. June 30th, these go on sale. You can spend up to 150 grand on these. You can make it look like anybody you want. Anybody. And this is just the beginning stage. They obviously are going to be much more improved 5 years from now. This is what's coming. Whether you like it or not, it's coming. This is the age of Aquarius. There you go. 17 grand for the low budget, 150 for the ultra version. And this is the big thing. It will never betray you. Will always be loyal to you. Will love you unconditionally. Right now, birth rates are at the lowest point. 1.2 per family. A lot of people in this world today are so tired of drama and arguing and bickering. Divorce is over 51%, has been for a very long time, 52%. It's not in your best interest statistically to get married. And people stay in marriages and they're just miserable. I'm not saying that you can't have a happy marriage, and a lot of you out there listening right now, you're like, oh, yeah, but not me. I get that. But a majority of the world is not like that, and these robots coming in, they're just going to get better, and what's going to happen is you're going to get the companionship and the dating and the club scene. All that stuff's already changing. I'm not even in that scene anymore, but I read up on it. And especially with women, You know, women now have become so independent. They're making their own money. They don't need a guy anymore to do this and do that. Not the typical aspect anymore. So now it's shifting where the women have their choice of like, I just want a good looking dude and want to get my rocks off. And I'm not saying this is for everybody, but this is what it's shifting into. So birth rates are down at a historical low per family. The robots are coming in for companions. People are not going to get lonely anymore. And a lot of people, I would say a majority of the people are going to get these because they don't have to worry about taking them out on a date. They don't have to worry about them getting bitched at because they didn't buy something for Valentine's Day. They don't have to worry about going out and spending a fortune on Christmas. They don't have to worry about going and doing anything anymore. Now, the liability, of course, is it makes people very selfish in a way. It's all about them. But people are tired of drama. People are tired of arguing and bickering. They're tired of the way you have to split things if you break up. I get it. So these are robots coming in, folks. Welcome to the age of Aquarius. I mean, if you've seen the movie Iron Man, Tony Stark and Jarvis, that's the future. Robots are going to be, you're going to have them in the house. They're going to do your laundry, and that's all coming. And now you can just make a companion on how you want it to look. And they're just going to learn, and they're going to talk back, and the advantages of that, I'm looking at the advantages, not the disadvantages. The advantage are you're not going to have any arguments. You're not going to have any drama in your life anymore. Not going to have to worry about debates anymore. You're not going to have to worry about any domestic violence will go down. We're moving into Minority Report that we've been talking about on this channel for the longest time. It's coming. It's coming. Jessica says modern day blow-up dolls. Yeah, they're I think a lot of you will get robots. I think a lot of you will. I know you're going to ask me, are you going to get one? I'd get one. To have a Jarvis in your house to help you out? Why not? If you can swing it. It's coming. It's like getting a robot. I'm not saying it has to be a companion that you're going to take out on a date. I'm not talking about that. But wouldn't you like to have someone in the house that you could, especially if you're alone? To have a Jarvis there that you can talk to and it talks to you back? Yeah, that's right. So the advantage of a robot is they don't want to manipulate. They have no agenda. Not yet, anyway. They're coming, folks. It's coming. The age of Aquarius, it's here. It's nothing like the age of Aries. It's nothing like the age of Pisces. It's a much different world that we live in now. And it's going to continue to change. See, I look at the advantages, not the disadvantages. The optimism, the good. It's always going to be both. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be dystopian right away. I think we're going to move into a springtime, summertime, fall time, winter time. I don't think any of us are going to be alive when the dystopian part kicks in. Every age has a dystopian part. Right? Every age is spring, summer, fall, and winter. It has to be that way. So think about when you grew up. I was born in 1973. If I compare 1973, or when I knew, 85 maybe. If I compare 1985 to 2026, there's not even any comparison on how it was then versus now. See, that's the thing, Rainbow says. The men could become more desensitized and become more aggressive. That's because porno is magical spells. When you turn on porno, you are absorbing the magic coming through the screen. I know some of you here watch porn. I have no judgment. I don't care. I don't watch it. I used to. Wasn't a big part of my life. I don't partake in it anymore. I haven't in a long time. No interest in it. I know what it does. I know what it's capable. I know it's a machine. Sex is the reason why we're here. All it's done is made more babies. But now the birth rates are at a historical low because a lot of people are waking up and realizing, do I really want to bring a child into this world? No. The world's crazy. I'd say you got a big set of brass balls if you bring a child into this world now. But I think it goes both ways. I think, men and women. Goes both ways. All right. Let's pull some tarot cards. We're gonna pull one card from the Astro deck to focus on maybe a house or a celestial placement as well, and I'm gonna do one flashcard for numbers. Maybe some of you have a specific number that you focus on, and this message may be more geared to you. The way we do tarot here is we're just going to pull 3 cards. I'm not going to go gangbusters with the interpretation. It can mean a whole ton of things. But the question is, what's the most important thing to focus on in life right now? This is collective, right? What's the most important thing to focus on in life right now? Collectively. Individualistically. I'm not going to be that guy or girl to say, take what resonates, leave the rest. I'm not going to regurgitate that stuff. If this message was meant for you, great. If it wasn't, that's okay too. First card. King of Wands. The mastermind. This card, by the way, I'll give you some history on it. It's card 36. It's tied to the Tower of Babel in Revelation chapter 11, verses 9. This is the card of the God of the Bible right here. The Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh is this card. Fact. This is the King of Fire. This is tied to Ra. This is tied to calamity. This is tied to evil. Just so you know what you're dealing with. Now, it came out in the reverse. So I'm going to give it to you both ways. Mastermind, no mastermind. Very simple when you reverse them. Authentic. A lot of people say this is a very bad card. Every card is good and bad. Authentic, deceptive. Okay? So just so you know what we're dealing with, this is the God of the Bible right here, man. So if you're a Bible person, it's what it came out as. Tied right to it. I didn't make it up. I didn't create this. It's the first card. Second card. Two of Wands. Another wand, another fire card. Card 24. So we have card 36, card 24. This is the card of the futurist. Aldous Huxley, the man who wrote Brave New World. This is his birth card. Came out on my birthday, February 4th, 1940 or 42? Maybe earlier than that. Brave New World's about transhumanism. Cyborg. You're already a cyborg, you know. Yeah, you. When you take this thing and you put it up to you, you're a cyborg. Half man, half machine. Half woman, half machine. Can't be any other way. We're already cyborgs. Card of the futurist. Adventures. After the abracadabra, like what kind of magic am I going to produce? Two of Wands. Now I'm going to look to see where I want to go. See, where am I going to go? And see, the hand is on the left wand because that's the west. The sun rises in the east, the right wand, his hand's not on that. He's got the hand with the globe in his hand, the world. And his left hand is on the left, it's the moon. The left-hand path is the path of sin because you're now going to go into the darkness. You're going to go west. So we have two wands here now. The mastermind and the futurist. These two. Third card. The lovers. Now it came out like that. No love, love. Simple. So this could be for some of you, the most important thing to focus on right now is love. For some of you, the most important thing to focus on in life right now is anti-love. No love, no mas, no more. If you're looking at it in the reverse, your future is to get rid of love. Excommunicado. If the King of Wands came out in the upright and the upside down position, there could be you're not being authentic with your future of love. You're the deceiver. I can tell you right now, I already know, without even looking into a crystal ball, some of you cheat on your partners. You know who you are. I don't care. Ain't my life. But you're a cheater. You're not authentic in your relationships. Part of your code. So the way I see it right here with these three cards, the Mastermind, the Futurist, and the Lover's card, some of you are going to be entering into a relationship. The most important thing in life right now is to focus on your relationship. The most important thing to focus on in life right now is to mend your relationship, to fix your family relationships. Do whatever it takes to give the most love you can to the relationship. Some of you may have a manipulating relationship, because the King of Wands could have come right out like this, and this is the master manipulator. So maybe your message is you need to move away from that if you know you're being manipulated. If you know, for a negative way, if you know that the person is cheating on you, you need to call them out on it. No matter what. You got to have brass balls to do it sometimes. So I'm giving you all the possibilities here that I can see. Some of you you're going to be entering into the love space. Some of you are going to be moving away from it. Some of you are being manipulated in love space right now, and you don't even know it. You're being played. Some of you are being played right now, and you don't even know it. And you're going to have to feel that sting, part of your destiny. I've been cheated on before. It's the worst. Part of the destiny. So let's get an astro card to see what zodiac sign or what house, or what celestial it wants to focus on. Let's see. 9th house. Exploration. So if you have Venus in the 9th house, you want a lover that's going to take you on trips and adventures. You're going to go on and explore the world. A big part of you, if your love signature if your Venus is in the 9th house, especially if Sagittarius is there, you're going to want a partner who's going to want to go on adventures, trips, explore the world, because the 9th house is exploration. You want a man or a woman who can tantalize your mind, because the 9th house is the mind, the higher mind, philosophy, theology, religion, your truths. You want somebody that you can have a great conversation with. If you got Venus in the 9th house. You want to be loved by knowledge. You might like a person that has a lot of knowledge. You may get off on that. Like that may excite you. You might want to surround yourself with intelligent people or an intelligent lover. You might meet somebody in a foreign land if you got Venus in the 9th house. So if you got Venus in the 9th house, you could have love coming your way. You meet them on a trip. If you're going to be traveling soon, you might meet them on a trip. We're going to pull one from the flashcards here, just the number. I can't see anything in here, so let's just pull one out and see what comes up. What number is this? 63. The flower of life is 63 in Chaldean numerology. It's tied to Venus. Venus is copper. Copper is 63. The isotope of copper is 63. This is love, man. Some of you have love coming in. Some of you need to get rid of toxic love to free up your exploration. Some of you are just bogged down. You want to travel. You want to be doing your own thing, and you can't. Some of you are being manipulated. The message for you, you need to end the manipulation. You're being taken advantage of. Why are you still in the relationship? Because it's convenient? Or how authentic are you being to yourself? Because the King of Wands, man, can be a manipulator. This is the mastermind card. Master manipulator. Some of you are getting stroked right now. I'm not going to say how many of you. This is, like I said, I'm not saying it's everybody. Some of you are getting porked. Some of you are getting stroked. Some of you are getting really used. Because the lovers did come out. Some of you need to say no. Some of you need to take yourself off the dating sites. We do have Venus here. Copper. Copper and europium. And this number right here is also tied to the Vesica Piscis, which is the Venus flytrap. There's a lot of love in these three cards and the 63. There's a lot of love here. Whether it's going to be a new partner coming in, some of you may be getting engaged, pregnant, married, but then there are some of you that are probably going to be going through a breakup. Bye-bye. I'm done. The other message that I can see here, if all three of these are going to be upright, like this, is that some of you know that you're going to be moving into this futuristic endeavor of, you can feel it. It could be family. It could be your family that you need to inject more love into because you're neglecting your family. Maybe you got a side hustle. Maybe you have a side piece. Maybe you're cheating on your wife or your husband and your family's suffering because of it. You got kids, man. Hey, man, again, no judgment here. Not my life. It's your code. But some of you are venturing outside of the marriage bed. Some of you are venturing outside of your partnership and your partner don't know. You're hiding. You got 2 cell phones and you're hiding one. Some of you are bonking your other person on the road. You're meeting at hotels. And you'll just justify it because this is the mastermind. You justify it. Why it's okay. They don't treat me good enough. So you just justify it. So I do see cheating here for some of you. I already know somebody listening to this, you're cheating on your partner or your husband or wife. Again, I got no judgment. It doesn't matter to me. It's your life. But I do see that there. But there is this the beautiful message of this. There is love that is being ushered in for some of you. That's the thing to focus on in life right now. And I do know that, let me take you on this journey of the Stellarium so I can show you. Venus right now is in Leo. And this is a very, very, very big connection of, the beauty queens, beauty kings coming in. Venus is the glorious one. Venus heralds the sun. The sun's ruled by Leo. There's a lot of good-looking people that have Venus and Leo. Or at least they think they are. But come August, I think it's August. Yeah. Come August, Venus is going to move into Virgo, and she's going to sit right across from Kronos. So you could think of like this red line right here. Imagine this is a table that you sit at, right? And they're literally sitting across the table from each other. And Kronos is time and Venus is love. Love stuck in time. You're living out a love story. Some of you could have karmic love. Some of you may have an ex returning or are starting to talk to an ex right now. Karmic love. Contracts. Saturn is contracts. Venus is love. Love contracts. Marriages. Either getting in or out. But the fact that Zeus is in Cancer right now is a big deal. When the sun hits this right here, I would say you're going to see an influx of people and emotions, because Cancer is the moon. So you have the expansion of the moon, and then the sun, it just exaggerates it. And this is family. So the expansion of family as well, come August. So we got like about 2 weeks away. So these are things to kind of look forward to or to get ready for. But I see some of you, a lot of you, could be entering a new space of love, entering into a relationship. And, you know, the King of Wands from the asset perspective is like the mastermind of like, I want this to come into my life. I'm ready for it. A lot of you here listening, you're ready for a relationship. You're ready to experience love again. Those of you that have been out of it. And it's fate, man. And so many people I know, like it just shows up. I wasn't expecting it. It just shows up. But we do have a lot of love here, folks. There's a lot of love energy here. So that's what I got for all of you, ladies and gentlemen. 6:30, 30. We got 66 there. 66 for the total. So there is a 2 of diamonds. Some of you could be multitasking. Again, I do see multiple lovers for some of you. Some of you are juggling will be juggling multiple lovers. Some of you, and maybe you have a lover on the side. But we do have a lot of Venus energy here. So that's what I got for you, folks. All right. So we're going to wrap this one up. And I don't know where the heck before I end this. All right, so we're going to end it here. So this is the other band I have. Both of these songs that you heard, this one and the Neon Soap Opera in the beginning, they're going to be in the description of this podcast, this 122. So this is my rock band, Madruger. This song's called Monster. It's a pretty cool tune. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's been an honor and a pleasure to be here with all of you. I greatly appreciate all your participation. I hope to see you on the Patreon, and I hope you do the spotlight. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for today. My name is Logan for Decode Your Reality. Until next time, we will see you later.
Who do you
just like you. Stick to your sins. So let's both be sinful. Who do you think you're dealing with? I'm a monster. You tell your friends that I'm sick. I'm a monster. Call me a lunatic. I'm a monster. I don't really give a damn. Anyway, I don't really give a damn. So you say, just who gives a damn? Anyway, but don't you ever forget, I'm a monster. I'm a monster. I'm a monster. I'm a monster. I'm a monster.